And we're live from the bunker. Harold Harrowings is just bringing you a little bit of who, what, when, and where. And right now, I'm listening to my Sonos system. I got it started again. It's been a little while since that's been working, and I'm just hanging out, doing a little introspection. I was leading the everyday junglist and intelligent nonsense, and some notes as people were reflecting on whether or not people get us. In order to get us, we have to take the time to pay attention to each other. And that's the rarest form of generosity. I see we've got two of us here, and I don't know who the other one is because I can't see it. Substack is not informing me who you are, other person listening in. I don't know if you can hear my music, but I love my Sonos being back on. This is Port Chester Capitol Theater show, an early edition of Trucking, probably one of the first from Workingman's Dead 50th Anniversary Collection. Oh, having a little ginger sparkling water from Wegmans. Natural flavoring, they say. I'd like to know exactly what the natural flavoring they put in is. It tastes like ginger to me. Um, what do I really want to say to you all? We're out on Substack. We're doing this work. We're trying to help each other get through dawn to dusk and back again. And just being with each other as these incredibly short flashes of light on the surface of eternity. Our lives are so brief, and we spend too much of the time focused on things do not enrich our lives, that do not make us better people. Today, I've been serving. I've been ringing people up at the register at Daily Provisions, and I just love it. And I love being out among people at this cafe that I've frequented very shortly after they opened. It's just one of those things. I don't know if this is picking up or not, but there's fife and drum music being performed by the Colonial Williamsburg Fife and Drum Corps now. Sounds like it's in the present building, considering the fife music I'm hearing is not something that I played when I was in the Corps from 74 to 81. But the whole idea of this music is to transmit a message, to keep the beat, to keep the army moving at a certain pace so you can judge how long it'll take you to get from point A to point B on the march. Another thing that it does is it can communicate, orders on the battlefield that can't be shouted. And, it does a great job of setting the time during the day and entertaining the troops. So, fife and drum music has many different functions, but the amplification of signal through the noise is really important. And that's important for all of us, metaphorically speaking, to transmit the signal through the noise of cyberspace. I have a very limited range, and I do try to put it out there for people to hear. And I see Paul K is joined, I think, from Ohio, right, Paul? And, what we can do for each other is we can hit the restack button, we can hit the notes, and we can write and encourage others to read others who we find compelling. We do need to take the power we have in our hands as individuals in order to shape the world that we're collectively living in. We've done so already. And this is the world we have. I think we can make it better. I think we can transform things. I've been looking hard at how we could use our technologies to weave them together to make a kind of hypervisor for radical utilitarianism. In other words, achieving the greatest happiness for the greatest number of species for all life on the planet, not just human life. One of the things that humans are doing is using up too much of the resources for themselves and leaving so little that other species are going extinct at a rapidly increasing rate. This is a concern. We can do better. We have the technology, we have the awareness, we have the knowledge. We simply need to prioritize it. Instead of prioritizing the theatrics of like, who likes me better, this kind of thing is just so unproductive. It's not a popularity contest here. What's really important is that we collectively be good ancestors for those who are coming after. And they will curse us for our negligence in allowing ourselves all to get caught up in the theatrics while not addressing the practicalities of blending our shared resources together in such a way that we can make this world something better than what we ourselves inherited. Leave the campsite better than you found it, right? Simple principles like that, simple practices done with precision, like the drummers I'm listening to now doing an open beating, and now the fifers coming in to do things with high quality using simple rules for complex performance. That's really what it comes down to. That's three easy pieces. Breathing in, we can calm ourselves. Breathing out, we can see that this moment is indeed a miracle, that any of us are here at all, that any of us maintain homeostasis. And we can cherish each other and look at our collective value on the planet. And, when somebody feels deeply appreciated, they'll always do more than is expected of them. They'll always be looking for the extra mile. And it's a wonderful thing to see happen. And when something's not right, we need to know. We need to know when things are confusing and perhaps not what they ought to be, not up to standard, and get it up to standard. Anyway, I'm learning all these things again as I've known them from the back when I was a fifer and back earlier than that. So it goes. Mortifying sometimes, but nonetheless, there it is. So we are live from the bunker. You're seeing the way we've got it arranged, our little augmentation we did to the fireplace, so putting a mantle around it and a different marble over the slate that we had gotten when we bought the place. We haven't done that much. We put a rug down in the living room that we got off of eBay, and we were very lucky to be able to move in here in 2010. It's now 2026, coming up on 16 years this fall of being in this abode. Len and I met 19 years ago just down the block at Bedazzled, which is now up for rent, it looks like, up for lease. And that's been that way for a while. It was a Capital One bank very briefly, and then that folded. But now it's sitting empty, that space where I met her for the first time. And we went on a walking date 19 years ago on May 3rd, coming up. We married May 3rd, 2008. That was 2007 when we first met. And yeah, so we're coming up on our 18th wedding anniversary. We did that up at the Tabard Inn on Inn Street down the way. And that's a great venue for such an event. It's a really beautiful wedding. Well, the happiest day of my life. Happy wife, happy life, right? So those are some thoughts off the top. This edition of the Passing Show hasn't attracted all that many folks to listen in, but if you do, I certainly appreciate it and want to see more of what we can do collectively together. We're not going to do this by competing against each other. We need to be cooperating with each other, collaborating with each other in positive ways, thinking in long view. Think 700 years. And what kind of a world will our descendants be living in as a result of our actions? I can't imagine, but I can imagine this, that we can do better than we've done so far. We've got a lot of powerful technologies at our fingertips now. So keep that in mind and be the change you want to see in the world. Every cent spent is a vote for the kind of world we're co creating, and take the actions necessary. That's about all I wanted to say this evening. It's my mother's 87th birthday, so happy birthday to Mom. She called me back after reading twice the card that the Charter Senior Living gave her saying that she brings joy to every event that she attends. And I sure hope she'll keep attending those events and being a part of the residents' life there. I know that she can do it. It's very sad that her mind is not laying down memory much, but this is something that had been creeping up on us for a long time, and the forcing function was finally a fall 3 months to the day after her husband of 64 plus years died. All right, let's end it here, and thanks again for being a part of this.